Um, when I was first introduced to the X-Men franchise as a child, I'd always figured Magneto was a generic supervillain hell-bent on destroying the X-Men. As it turns out, I was sorely mistaken. For the story of Magneto holds a much deeper and darker meaning than I was originally prepared for, that can still be applied today. Um, in the movie X-Men First Class, Magneto, also known as Eric Lenscher, was a former victim of the Holocaust. When mutants are discovered by the governments, which are run by normal humans, their well-being and status in the world is severely threatened by said governments. Because he has already lived through one genocide against his people, Magneto seeks to stop at nothing to prevent another one, this time against mutants. His actions towards doing so can be described as violent and aggressive, but this is what he deems necessary to protect himself and his people. This can be very obviously compared to the social justice movements occurring in our country right now, such as the Black Lives Matter movement. While Charles Xavier represents the peaceful portion of this movement, those who believe that violence only begets more violence and that patience and perseverance are what a movement needs to be successful, Magneto represents the more action-oriented side of the movement, which consists of those who believe that peaceful action has gotten them nowhere and that violent and aggressive acts are the only actions that allow them to be heard and taken seriously. This is illustrated perfectly in one of the final scenes of X-Men First Class, where Magneto tries to force the missiles back at the battleships in order to protect the mutants, while Charles Xavier urges Magneto to not fire back to show that the mutants are not dangerous. I feel like it is safe to say that Magneto can be seen as the villain simply because of his actions. In most stories, one of the key aspects of a good antagonist is the fact that they share a very similar goal to the protagonist, but their means of going about it directly conflicts with that of the protagonist. In this case in the case of Professor X and Magneto, their shared goal is for mutant prosperity in the world they share with humans. The part where they differ is how to go about achieving the goal and how far they take this goal. Professor Xavier wants a world where mutants and humans coexist and live equally, while Magneto yearns for a world dominated by mutants and he wants to take it by force. That is all. Thank you.